Hey guys, what's going on? Happy weekend. I'm just going to go through the Jeff Bishop Bullseye trades review for this week. I think we're on to week 8 of me recording each one of these via video, but I have posted every single result in this article for the whole of this year, 2022. So I'll show you those in a minute. Really quick overview of what Bullseye Trades is for the people that are watching this that have no idea. It's run by this guy, Jeff Bishop. He is the co-founder of Raging Bull, and every Monday morning he sends out an email with an alert with some due diligence, and then does a video at 11 Eastern time, all about a particular stock that he thinks is going to be bullish for the week. In fact, I think it's always bullish. I think he might have done some puts on these things maybe once. We'll have a look in a minute. It's a single trade, 100% profit target. It's the profit target, doesn't always hit it, but it does a surprising amount of time, which is really cool. So it's an option trade, usually a call, like I was saying. You can go and read this article. It's an article I wrote. It's basically a review of this whole service. I've been following these guys for somewhere between 5 and 10 years. It's been a while. And currently I'm a member of a bunch of different services with them. And this is the list of the trades for 2022. So you can see that this video is probably going to go in here somewhere. And you know, this is a running track record. Last week's trade was Meta, so I'm putting the date and then the exact contracts. Then doing a video about them so you can sort of see more of the details. So I started these videos about 8 weeks ago. This was the first one. But like I said, I've included all the different previous week's trades, so you can see the dates, the exact contracts. So you can go and like plug these into your account and look at the contract value to see, like, to verify that this is what actually happened with these trades, which is a level of transparency which I hope is going to help people say, okay, this actually looks like a legit service. This might be something I want to join. And then I've put a rough price target, well, roughly where the stock went or the options went on these particular stocks. So you can see we've had green, 100%, 400%, 300%. So every so often there's a loss, like here there's a loss. But we've been on a really good streak until last week. So in this last 8 weeks, there's only been one losing trade, and that was last week's Meta. So it didn't do very well. It looked like some people took 20% loss on it. I took a 50% loss, which is a bit more than I hoped for. It was a kind of silly trade in my half, but you do have to manage these trades a bit yourself, but Jeff does give an overview. So let's go into this week's trade, and I'll kind of show you what this last week's trade was. So it was on a smaller company, so not like Meta size. FNKO was the Bullseye pick of the week. So you get this little blurb about what's happening. Usually he mentions the market a little bit, so he wasn't super bullish in the market, although it did turn out to be a good week overall. So in the email you get this really simple like chart, you know. Not a lot of information in the email. You usually have to watch the video or the live stream at 11 Eastern. It is recorded, and I'll show you that in a minute. So basically all he said is, this is the weekly chart, this is a very bullish setup. No reason to believe that it'll break down, but also preparing for that possibility. So these were the options he suggested. FNKO July 15th, 2250 calls near 140. And he puts what his stop is and stuff. And I've always liked this little highlight thing, so if you don't want to read the due diligence, you can just skip to the actual relevant trade details. And you can look here. So yeah, so that's what he sent out. And then I watched the video, which was right here. So this is his live stream. It's about an hour long, or 30 to 45 minutes sometimes, where he goes over in more detail why he likes that particular trade. So again, that level of transparency where he's showing you and explaining why he's wanting to trade. And he also talks about if he's in the trade, or you know, what's going on with that. In this case, he actually missed the trade, something to do with his brokerage not working properly, and he didn't get filled, which is a shame because it was quite a big winner. So the cool thing is with this is you can also comment and stuff, so you can look down and see what people are commenting. So you can see that this week's trade, Sarah's saying, another great trade pick, Jeff, made 60% in one day. It's really good. And basically either people missed this trade or they made a ton of money on it. So I'll show you why in a minute. But yeah, so it's cool because Jeff actually responds as well. So you can actually like talk to him via that. So pretty awesome. I enjoyed this video. The summary of the video was basically this. So nothing super like clever about this. Basically bullish consolidation for weeks. It's been crushing earnings, and they're not until August, so it's not like we're having earnings this week. The fact that FNKO wasn't following the market daily or weekly are all bullish in this market. So Jeff talks about how he likes to find stocks at the moment that aren't directly correlated to the market, that are outperforming, that has some relative strength, or at least not directly correlated to the market, because that's what's making trading tricky in this bear market. Is it's difficult to trade when when everything goes down. So he's been finding, I think that's why 2022 has been so great for Bullseye. He's been finding these relative strength stocks. Then he just uses the Keltner channels basically, and points out that they're moving higher and that we're trading above them. So very simple analysis really, but it works, and it's been working for the whole of 2022, which is awesome. Anyway, let's go and look at the chart for FNKO. So here's the chart. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So last week, starting over here. So you can see we had this dip, and then it just basically ran for the rest of the week. So the people that were nervous because of meta, like me, would have held off probably, and probably not got filled. The people that were a bit more bold, like my friend Michelle, she got filled in here somewhere, and then sold somewhere in here. But one of the tips and tricks for Bullseye, it seems to be, is if you're worried about it, if it's around the right price range, like his target entry was about 150 on these calls, you probably want to buy a half position, right? Or if you don't buy a half position, at least take some profits if it moves up 50%. So the guidelines for him are just his guidelines, and he encourages you to manage the trade the way that you are going to be most comfortable with, which I 100% agree with. So here's the details for the call. So the price target on the underlying was 25 with a stop under 21, and 21 was last week's low, so it's nothing particularly special about 21, just that it was last week's low. And the price target was 25 on the underlying, and you can see it hit 25 probably way back here somewhere, but here. So on the Tuesday it had already hit the 25, so most people are probably taking profits just in these couple of days. Incidentally, you can see that the GPS, which is these green dots and things, that it's actually working really great on this particular stock. Here's the confirmation candle, and the stock just ran. The little trailing stops came all the way up, stopped out up here. So if you're interested in GPS, I'll put a link to that too, because it's a pretty cool tool, and it helps sometimes to manage these bullseye trades as well. Because if you're thinking about selling here and you get a bullish confirmation on GPS, it gives you that added confirmation that you can probably hold this thing a little bit longer. So sometimes having a different indicator system, as well as using Jeff's due diligence, can be pretty useful in this stuff. Anyway, let's go and look at the contracts. So here are the contracts, the 22.5s from July 15th. So here we go. So this is the Monday. So if you look, this is the price of the contract, the purple line, versus the week's time, right? So Monday is in here. I think you can see on the right here, hopefully you can see, but this is 3.5 up at this level, and the entry suggested price was around 1.5, which is here. So you didn't have a lot of time on Monday to get in, maybe a period of like an hour, maybe a little bit less, and it just rallied all the way up. So the contracts went from about 150 to almost 3.5 was the high, which is more than 100%. It's like 120% or something over the course of that week, which is really cool. So it was another great winner. So yeah, I mean, I don't think very many people got in at 140 especially. So the problem is you have a losing week the week before. You're a bit nervous to get in when things are dipping. So even though these results are really fantastic that I'm showing, like every week is just winning, you have to take into account your own emotions as well, which unless you can trade like a robot, which hopefully we can sometimes, then it's going to be difficult to get the absolute optimum entries here, because you'll hesitate and then it'll run. It's the typical trading stuff. So I think I know a few people that got in on Monday, but a lot of people that didn't get in on Monday either. So yeah, I think another really good trade. I enjoyed his video particularly. I think Jeff seems to be a great guy. He's like really upbeat about things. and he seems to be enjoying finding these relative strength winners. This Bullseye service has really come into its own this year. I've been a member, like I said, on and off for probably 5 years, or however long this program's been going, and honestly think 2022 it's been the best for this service that I've ever seen it. And it's so simple, and it's only like $97 a year, so it's not an expensive service either. Anyway, I'm going to update this article. Go and check it out. I'm going to put this video in here, so keep a video log of these things as well. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.